Hi everyone, thank you for joining me back in the gym today. Today's video is going to be all about my exercise program, specifically the weightlifting part of the program, so the strength training part of the program. In a way, with my exercise, I do three things. One is strength training, so that's lifting weights, using the muscles against resistance in order to build strength and some sort of mobility and stability in the muscles and the joints. The second part is rock climbing or bouldering in a climbing gym. And that's really good for overall mobility, strength, and kind of proprioception, balance, all the things that you want in terms of staying healthy and fit. And then the third component is some cardio. So that could be anything, playing sports, anything that gets the heart rate up for a prolonged period. So I try and do those three things. The strength training is to build strength, build sort of health in the joints and the muscles, keep me athletic, not so much to kind of build muscle and look hench or kind of built like a bodybuilder. Most people look better if they've got more muscle and less fat. And I plan to get more muscle and less fat. Although that's not the primary reason for doing it. Mostly it's to feel good, be athletic, and to be able to do stuff. I'm not trying to get big. I'm not trying to turn into a bodybuilder. I've done that in the past, but at the minute, I'm just trying to stay fit and healthy. And so that's what this program's all about. So I've done very similar. I've been lifting weights since I was about 16, so almost 20 years. In fact, I started when I was 15. So yeah, 20 years really I've been lifting weights. Done many, many different types of programs over the years. And this program that I'm going to talk you through is kind of an adaptation of some of the other programs I've done with really good results in the past. So this seems to work really well for me. The main thing is I don't want to be really sore all the time. So if you lift really heavy weights and you do it a lot, the muscles will be sore. Secondly, I don't want to have that brain fog and that fatigue and that central nervous system kind of the nervous system being worn out from lifting heavy weights. If you do a really intense weightlifting program, you'll probably find, for example, if you do like squats, deadlifts, and then a bunch of other leg exercises, the next couple of days, your body will feel really sluggish and your brain will feel sluggish. Basically, because the nervous system has been through so much effort, it's kind of worn out the same way the muscles are. I don't want that because I've got lots of other stuff to do. So this program is kind of a balance between gaining strength, but also not being sore and not having that nervous system fatigue. So it's kind of a balance, a maintenance thing, but I want to build some strength alongside it. So the way it works is I'm going to do 3 days a week. So I'll write this down, 3 days per week. So what I do is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And this is for the weightlifting part of the week. Then I do cardio. So this is weights. And then I do cardio. I try and do that on Tuesday and Friday. And then I do climbing on Thursday and Sunday. So that's my program. So you see there's no overlap except from cardio really on a Friday, cardio and weights. So for this program, the way it works is with each exercise, I do 3 sets. So that's 3 lots of lifting that weight in that way. And the first set, I aim for 4 to 6 reps. That's the first set. The second set, I aim for 6 to 8 reps. And the third set, I aim for 8 to 10 reps. So if I'm on the first set, if I'm doing 6 reps consistently with a weight, I'll increase the weight so that I'm down to 4 reps for that weight. And then for the second set, if I'm doing 8 consistently, I'll increase the weight to get down to 6. and then build that up. So each week I'm recording. You'll notice I have an obsession with kind of tracking tables and tracking things. I record all my sets. And so each week I look at what I lifted the last week. If I'm at the upper end of this range, I'll increase the weight. If I'm at the lower end, I'll stick with that weight. So what I'm trying to do each week is increase the weight if I'm managing to lift it, to keep always in this rep range with these 3 sets. And I start with obviously I warm up first, make sure I'm good and loose and everything's working well. And then I start with the heaviest set. And with each one of these sets, I'm dropping the weight a bit. So each set, each exercise looks like this in this program. So let's get straight into the program. This is Monday. I'm going to go through all of these exercises with you and kind of demonstrate them as I go through. So the first exercise on a Monday is incline dumbbell press. And I do this on a bench at 45 degrees, and I'm essentially just pressing the weight up over my head at that 40-degree angle. And the important thing is keeping the back and the scapula or the shoulder blades rolled back, the shoulders back and the chest forward, so that you get a good range of motion and you're isolating the chest muscles. The next exercise is horizontal rows. So what I'm doing here is pulling. I've got these grips, these kind of parallel grips, and I'm pulling those grips into my chest, trying to keep my shoulders back throughout the whole range of motion. So this is building strength in the back, and it helps me with pulling towards the wall when I'm climbing. So with the incline dumbbell press, I'll add what I did yesterday. So with incline dumbbell press, I did 20 kg times 8 reps, then another 20 kg times 8 reps, then another 20 kg times 8 reps. And so for the next time, what I'll do, because I'm up at this 8 reps, is I'll have to go up for the weight with the first set and probably the second set, and probably stick with 20 kg for the third set. Horizontal rows, I did 35 kg times 10 reps, then the same again, then the same again. So yesterday, I was really just at this point in the program, because I'm just getting started, I'm kind of just feeling where my strength is, getting everything warmed up, and getting used to the movements again. Because at this stage, once I'm kind of deep into this program, a few weeks in, I'll be really pushing the weight. But when you first start the program, it's important to kind of ease into it and just get used to things. So the third exercise on a Monday is incline bicep curls. So what I'm doing here is the bench is slightly more than a 45-degree, I think a 60-degree angle, and keeping my back pressed against the bench, I'm just doing bicep curls, twisting the weight as I come up and doing one arm at a time, alternating between arms on different reps. So what I did on Monday was 12 kg times 8 reps, 12 times 8, and then 12 times 6. The next exercise is tricep push downs using a cable machine. So what I'm doing here is bringing the bar up to a nice stretch in the triceps and then pushing it all the way down, trying to keep the rest of my body fixed in place. And again, keeping the scapula and the shoulders back to isolate the triceps. And I did 25 kg times 8, 25 times 8, and then 25 times 6. And then the final exercise is on a Monday is seated, kind of incline lateral raises. And this is again at quite a steep angle, but enough so that maybe 60-degree angle, and then really isolating the side deltoids, the side of the shoulder, and bringing that up to a shoulder level position. And by keeping the chest forward, the shoulders rolled back, the scapulas together, and the back against the bench, you can really isolate those shoulder side deltoid muscles. And I did 8 kg times 8, then I did 5 times 12, and then I did 5 times 6. And that's Monday. Then I'm done with Monday, and the idea is that it doesn't put too much strain on the body. I did this yesterday. My muscles feel good. I played squash this morning. I don't feel kind of sore or achy. It's purely to keep the strength there and to gradually get improved with the strength. So next, let's move on to Wednesday. So on a Wednesday, the first exercise, and you'll notice on a Wednesday, this is kind of my leg day. And in the past, I've done lots of heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, and compound movements that involve lifting lots and lots of weight. The problem with this is it creates so much central nervous system fatigue that I'm just foggy in my brain for the rest of the week. I'm not particularly fussed about getting huge muscular legs or getting super powerful like a power lifter. What I want to be able to do is move my body weight very easily and be athletic. That's so that if I'm doing climbing and I'm just on one leg on a tiny hold and I need to one leg squat all the way up, I'm able to do that, as opposed to being able to lifting very heavy weights. So the first exercise on a Wednesday is Bulgarian split squat. I think this is what it's called. Hopefully, you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. But this involves one leg, the back leg being up on a bench, and then the front leg squatting down till the back knee touches the floor and holding dumbbells to add weight to this. Second exercise is single leg step up onto a box. So this just involves basically stepping upwards onto a box. You could hold something to stay stable, and in the other arm, hold a dumbbell to add extra weight. Next is hip thrusts, really to work on the whole posterior chain. So this involves adding a dumbbell or a barbell to the hips and then thrusting them forward to squeeze sort of the glutes and the hamstrings and improve the whole core and the posterior chain. And then the fourth, is toes to bar. So this is to work the abdominal muscles and the core. Very relevant to climbing. I'm hanging from the bar and then using my core to pull, to sort of flex at the hips and pull my legs up until my toes touch the bar that I'm holding onto. And this really helps when climbing to be able to lift your feet up and keep a strong core. This one is not necessarily in the same kind of 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10 rep range. This is really as many as I can do, which is not many at the moment. So that's Wednesday done, only 4 exercises. Finally is Friday. And Friday starts with weighted pull-ups. Of course, this is unweighted if you can't do pull-ups, or you can even do assisted pull-ups if needed. Then the second one is weighted dips. So this involves just holding on with both hands and dipping down into the bar, leaning slightly forwards and getting the chest as low as possible before pushing upright. And this helps develop the whole chest and the triceps, whereas pull-ups is kind of the back and the biceps. So these two complement each other quite well. The final one for the shoulders is seated shoulder press with dumbbells. So this is just at a vertical angle, pushing the dumbbells straight up overhead. And then the final one is a plank. So this is just going on the elbows and the toes and holding this position horizontal, trying to keep the whole body in a fixed straight position and holding as long as possible for 3 sets. Again, this is not adding any weight, although you could add weight to the to your back or to your lower back to keep things a bit more difficult. But really, this is just holding it for time to get real stability in the core. And that's my exercise program. So that is 3 days a week, 4 or 5 exercises per day, and 3 sets per exercise. And the idea is really, like I said, to build strength consistently week after week, to get stronger, keep the joints healthy, make me more athletic, but importantly, not to make me exhausted, not to make me sore, and not to make the central nervous system just worn out, so that I can keep on with my very busy lifestyle. I hope you found that helpful. Why not subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, and then you'll see as I go on over the next sort of 10 weeks or so, how I improve on these exercises. And if it's helpful, I can give updates and show you how my weight is progressing over time and I'm getting stronger and probably building some muscle as well. So there you have it. Leave a comment if you have any questions. And I'll see you in the next video, which will hopefully be tomorrow.